And good morning at 7:04 on this Friday, May 9th. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. Here on a Friday morning, we're glad to have you with us and ready to get started for Wilson Bank and Trust. We have Brandon Martin today, who is here representing Wilson Bank and Trust. Good morning, first of all.
Good morning, Mr. Coleman.
We're glad to see you, of course, and you were telling me you've been with the bank for 10 years, and you are a mortgage lender.
Yes, sir.
So I guess we're going to talk about lending money some today.
Hey, if that's what you want to talk about, we'll talk about whatever.
The bank's paying for the time. It's what you want to talk about. But I think most people who know anything about the banking business and industry know that banks make a lot of their profit from lending money. So it's very important that you have those loans available and that people come and take advantage of them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And have you been lending the whole 10 years, or did you start out?
For the most part, I started out in mortgage in our operations division. So kind of learned the back office side of the mortgage part of the business, and started about a year later. So about 9 of the 10 years I've been actually a mortgage originator. Do
you have maybe a number of people you could say are your customers that pretty much depend on you when they need to borrow money?
We are a full-service mortgage company, so we do everything: first-time home buyers, refinance loans. We do new construction. We partner with different builders in the area, and just VA loans. We're a one-stop shop. So if you need a mortgage of any kind, we can.
Well, of course, we were talking off air here. The Fed had their meeting. I think it was it this week? Wednesday?
It was one day this week. Yes, sir.
And decided to not make any changes, which didn't surprise some of us, and you included. You said
correct.
It's but we I don't know how much different we are here than other parts of the country, but things seem to be going pretty well, especially here in Middle Tennessee.
It's been busy. So we've been seeing a big uptick, kind of right there in the start of April, and people kind of started just coming out of the woodwork wanting to buy and just kicking tires a lot. But it's been an active spring so far, for sure.
Well, rates are not as low as they were, obviously, not as high as they once were, but is it pretty much a good time to borrow money?
I've been hearing people a lot smarter than me have been saying for 3 years that rates will fall September. September seems to be the month everybody predicts rates to fall, but I haven't seen that happen in 3 straight Septembers. So I think if you find a place that suits your needs and can fit your budget, it's a great time to buy. So.
Well, as you mentioned, real estate, homes, mortgages, this sort of thing. But I guess car loans,
absolutely,
home improvement loans. If you maybe want to go into business, sometimes you need to get a little start with the help of the bank there.
We can help you at Wilson Bank for all those needs. Yes, sir.
Yeah. And one of the things we might talk a little bit about is credit rating. We don't mention that an awful lot, but still, that's an important aspect of borrowing money, isn't it?
It is. It's they've made a lot of tweaks and different things with how credit scores are rated and how they're viewed and what stays on a credit report for a period of time. But it is still a major factor in your ability to borrow money.
Hey, you want as good a credit rating as possible, but I guess part of it may be your ability to pay a loan, but your track record is much importance.
Yes, sir. Yeah, for most loan products, they have minimum required scores, usually in the 640 range. But anything above that is always just helpful as far as just getting maybe a little bit lower interest rate or helping get into a certain loan program that may provide you better benefits.
Well, let me ask you this, not to put you on the spot, but you no doubt talk to other bankers, the banking industry. You wonder, and we're all wondering, what interest rates are going to. Do you have any feel for that one way or the other, up or down?
It's going to be dependent on data. So inflationary pressure is going to, as long as it's high, and then there's going to be no need to cut rates. So it's all going to be data dependent. And so when you know inflation's going down, that's when you can expect maybe interest rates to start falling.
So a lot just depends on those factors you just
Absolutely.
mentioned. Yeah. Okay. All right. We got about a minute left here. Anything else, Brandon, that you want to tell us this morning?
I said it's a great time to buy. Market's heating up. First-time home buyers, we've been doing a lot of those lately. You can go to our website. We've got a great financial literacy tab there, so you can kind of get some questions answered about the home buying process and look into things there. And you can also apply directly on our website and pick a mortgage lender or get a car loan or whatever just from our website and have somebody reach out to you.
WilsonBank.com.
Wilson Bank and Trust.
Follow the tabs.
Follow the tabs for lending, yes, sir. And
okay.
It'll take you out there.
Good to have you with us today. And we always close. Wilson Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. They're still here, still independent, still committed to you. Excellence in banking since 1987. So, Brandon Martin, thank you very much.
Thank you, Coleman.
Okay, we're 10 minutes after the hour. And here on this Friday morning, it is my pleasure to be able to talk about the Adult Learning Center. Sandy Anderson, the director, is with us this morning. And Sandy, good morning to you.
Good morning, Coleman.
Nice to see you again. I'll have to confess, it used to be not every month, but we didn't miss many months that we didn't feature the Adult Learning Center, and things have just changed a little bit. It's more by accident than design, but it's been a while since we've seen you, but it's nice to have you with us today.
Well, it's a pleasure for us.
And of course, it is May and it's time for graduation. You've got a graduation ceremony coming up next week, I believe.
We do, May 15th, 7 o'clock at Fairview Church here in Lebanon.
And this is similar to what you've done for a number of years. It does seem like that has turned out to be a really fine place to have your graduation. Usually the house is just about packed and sometimes standing room only.
It is. This year we're a little nervous about if we're going to all fit in there. We are going to have 90 graduates walking the line. This year we've had just record numbers. We have today, as of last night, 176 graduates. So we think we might hit 200 by the end of the school year. So 90 graduates will be walking with us next week.
Well, it sounds like you are doing something right. We also have with us this morning Amy Richards, who's a teacher at the Adult Learning Center. Amy, good morning to you.
Good morning.
I think this is your first time to be on Coleman Company.
It is.
We welcome you.
Thank you.
And how long have you been with the Adult Learning Center?
This is wrapping up my 4th year at the Adult Learning Center. Yeah. I did teach adult ed in Nashville for several years before coming to Wilson County.
Well, how did you get to here? Is this something you really feel maybe a calling for, this type of teaching?
It is. I kind of stumbled upon adult ed when I started in Nashville, but then I wanted to be a little bit closer to home in Wilson County, so I was teaching 8th grade, and Sandy reached out to me one summer, so I'm thankful to Sandy for that, for sure.
What do you teach? Is there one or two things you mainly teach these students?
We teach 5 subjects that they're tested on. They have to be tested on reading, writing, science, social studies, and math.
Yeah, do you do all of those? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, there's a lot of math, though. A lot of people aren't big fans of math.
Well, we're going to be going to a break here in a couple of minutes. Sandy, if you will, let's talk a little bit before, just because one of the main reasons you're here is to call attention to your graduation, and next Thursday, May 15th.
Yes, sir. May 15th is going to be at Fairview Church here in Lebanon. It's going to be a great night. We're really excited to be able to celebrate with all of our students. This represents a lot of different milestones for many people. Some people have been studying for years, stopping and starting. There's so many barriers that so many people different have, and this is just such a great night for us to be able to celebrate with them, with their families. We look forward to it all year long. There have been times when you have a guest speaker, and you've had some pretty notable people there over the years, but what about this year? This year we've decided to keep it simple because we have so many people graduating this year. And one of my favorites every year is Mr. Luttrell. I don't know if you've had the pleasure of hearing him, but he's one of my favorite motivational speakers. He's truly amazing, and we invited him to be our guest speaker.
Jeff Luttrell, our
director of schools. Yes, he's going to give the congratulatory message this year.
Well, I've mostly just heard him here on the radio.
He's fabulous.
It might be worth hearing a motivational speech from him.
He is.
Okay. Well, that again, it's the Adult Learning Center's graduation next Thursday, May 15th, Fairview Church here in Lebanon, starting at 7 p.m. and a little bit longer this year with more graduating probably.
Yes, sir.
But maybe not as long since you, well, it depends on how long-winded Mr. Luttrell.
He's usually pretty to the point, but we just really look forward to hearing him.
Yeah, I'm picking at him just a little bit here. Okay, we'll take a break here, and more coming up. Sandy Anderson and Amy Richards here on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Bates Ford and the low-price tire guarantee on all tires every day. Up to 30 days after the sale, there'll be any competitor's pricing on the tires they sell. 1780 Franklin Road. Now in traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Still a little bit crowded southbound on 65 over here at Trinity Lane. Now, we've had a couple of wrecks already in this area just south of Trinity Lane that was there a few minutes ago. They should be out of there any minute as it gets heavier down through Millersville this time of the morning on 65 coming south through that section of Sumner County. Wilson County traffic's finally starting to pick up westbound on I-40 as you head on over through Hermitage. Hey, if you recently suffered hail or storm damage to your roof and now that roof is starting to leak, call Independent Roofing Specialists today. Log on to their website, irsroofs.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Calling all Cumberland baseball fans. The Cumberland Phoenix baseball team are the champions of the Mid-South Conference and will now head to Kingsport, Tennessee for the opening round of the NAIA National Playoffs, where they'll compete against teams from Indiana, Missouri, Louisiana, and Tennessee for the chance to go to the World Series. Cumberland's first game is Monday, May 12th at 1:10 p.m. versus the Cougars of Columbia College in Missouri. Check the Cumberland website at gocumberlandathletics.com for game times throughout the tournament and listen to 98.3 FM or online at wantfm.com for all the action. Let's go, Phoenix.
At Wilson Bank & Trust, we're now offering exclusive checking and savings accounts designed to benefit our hometown heroes, including active duty military, veterans, and first responders such as law enforcement, firefighters, and EMS workers. At Wilson Bank & Trust, we recognize the commitment and sacrifices these families make to serve our country and communities. Thank you for your service. Visit one of our local offices to get started today or learn more at wilsonbank.com/military. Member FDIC.
Well, again, a good morning, and thanks for joining us for Coleman and Company here on a Friday morning. And we are featuring Adult Learning Center today. Sandy Anderson, director, and Amy Richards, who's one of the teachers. And we've talked quite a bit about the graduation that is coming up, but I think we ought to. It's been a while since we've even mentioned any of this. What you actually do? You help people attain what we call it, a high school equivalency, or the.
That's right. Yes, sir. The high school equivalency diploma, and there's 3 ways to get that right now. Through you can get it through your HiSET, GED, or a new pathway, which is a combination of different tests. Mm-hmm. And we've been real successful this year, but we do offer many different programs. One of those, of course, our main priority is being the high school equivalency diploma. And we teach in the jail, which this year we've had incredible numbers. This is probably the most diplomas we've ever had in the Wilson County Jail, and right now we stand at 56 jail graduates, and we have 2 more tests coming up. So I think it'll be 60, 65 probably in the jail. We're really excited. Well,
there are so many reasons that people don't make it through high school. Mm-hmm. Sometimes bad family situation. Sometimes people just make some bad mistakes, do some things they could not, and some, even as you're talking about, haven't for whatever reason done it and are incarcerated, but make use of their time there and maybe become more productive by getting this high school education, this diploma. It does mean a lot, doesn't it?
It does. One of our main focuses is to help reduce recidivism and try to keep them from coming back and offer them a pathway into the job market by getting their diploma. And in the jail, we have a second class that once they get their diploma, they can go into a moving forward class, which is tailored to get them ready to get out of jail and back into the community. But we also have ESL classes. We have a class that helps if a person is going into nursing school and they're studying for their HESI exam. We've had a lot of success this year helping students get into their nursing program by studying through their HESI. We've really had a lot of different programs this year. We also have a citizenship class. I wanted to make sure and tell you that. We've had 26 new citizens since we've started this class, including their children. So we're really excited. We've had a lot going on this year.
Well, you certainly do, and I think I should ask Amy a little bit here, too. Being an instructor is a little bit different from being the director, no doubt. Sandy, I don't think you're teaching any classes, are you?
I teach whenever, if I need to, if one of our teachers are out and they need me, but not as much as I used to, no, sir. But I wanted to also mention that Amy is our Teacher of the Year for Barry Tatum Academy, so I wanted to shout out to her.
All right. Well, you meet all kinds, and there's sometimes I would imagine with the people that you're working with, there may be some difficult situations that they have had to deal with and that you have to work through. And I'm thinking about is motivation, is that a problem that you encounter? I'm wondering if something hasn't already happened to motivate them to want to come to you to start with. But talk about that.
Sometimes motivation can be difficult for our students, but I feel like it's my job to motivate them to keep coming back. You know, sometimes they'll come to one class and then we don't see them again. And so I kind of take a step back and think, what did I do? Yeah. And, you know, maybe it's not always me, but I do want to make it a good experience for them because so many of them did have a good school experience, and that's why they're with us. So
do some just get discouraged because it seems to be too high a mountain to climb, learning all this at a later age for most, I guess?
Sometimes, yes. It's not easy, and I don't think we ever advertise it as being an easy path for them, but it is attainable. So I think it's always really important for them to see other people being successful, and that helps them think, oh, this can be done. I can do that too. And even those small wins for students can help motivate them. So I try to highlight those as much as I can.
Well, you've probably been a part of several graduations by now, and that has to be a happy occasion.
It's the best day of the year.
And one of the things that I've noticed about this, it seems that there's quite a bit of family support for these graduates, and there are people in the audience who are really cheering them on and really there to celebrate this occasion.
Yes. People show up with signs, flowers, and balloons, and lots of cheers, and it is truly the best day of the year.
Well, then this is something that's got to motivate people like you a little bit too. That you've helped these bring on some more. We want to help all we can.
It's true. The students are the ones who are doing the hard work, but it is it's great to see that so many people are being successful and making changes in their lives.
You mentioned something about quite a bit of math, I believe.
Yes.
Is that for the average person, maybe that the most difficult subject?
Usually, that's what I find. And so many people are just scared of math. And that goes back to not having a great experience in school, which I didn't either. I used to hate math. I was scared of it, get nervous and sweaty thinking about math. And when I first started in adult ed, I thought, okay, maybe one of the other teachers will want to teach all of the math. And that didn't happen. So I had to relearn it all. And so I feel like I tell my students that too. I'm like, I used to almost cry in class because I was so behind, and my teacher would say, I already explained that. So I can understand their fears.
Yeah.
And I say, if you've asked me the same question 13 times, ask me a 14th time, and I'll try to think of a 14th way to answer it, because apparently I haven't done a good job the other 13 times. So I'm never going to say, I already explained that. So they say, oh, the way you explain it, I understand it. You make it seem so easy. And so that makes me feel good that I can at least help them not be scared of math.
Definitely.
They don't have to love it. Just don't be scared of it.
Okay. Sandy, I don't know what all else you may have for us, but you've, how long you been director now?
I've been in adult education almost 17 years, and I really lost count about the directorship. So maybe
years.
5 or 6 years.
Yeah, right. Well, does future look good? I know the county does appropriate money. You evidently have the blessings of the director and the Board of Education for what you're doing. Are you taken care of pretty well?
Yes, sir. Wilson County Schools is very good to us. We love being a part of the school system. We are with Principal Sean Cavan with Barry Tatum Academy. And we also partner with Workforce Essentials, who helps us with our ESL classes. So we are very fortunate in that aspect.
Well, are you running out of room by any chance? You have maybe more. You have more graduating.
We have more graduating, yes, sir. This year, we are going to have served almost 700 students, and we're not running out of room, but we welcome anyone that needs our help. One of the things I did want to mention is that we have just an amazing staff, as Amy has described. And first of all, I just wanted to thank Ms. Tracy Moore. She is our classified staff of the year as well. She really helps me with everything. And when you give us a call at 615-443-8731, you're going to ask for Ms. Tracy, and she's going to make you feel right at home.
Mm-hmm. Is the phone the way most people contact you first?
Yes, sir. That's the easiest way. Tracy likes to talk with you for a little bit and just explain what's going to happen so that you're not surprised, and make sure this is the right time for you. But we have a lot of great staff, and another person I wanted to mention is Miss Debbie Thomas. She's retiring after 30 years of being with us, so we want to congratulate her for her retirement. But we do have a lot of great staff. Miss Carissa, Miss Amy, Ruth Ann Combs, Gina Farrell, any of those teachers are going to be able to help you get your diploma.
Well, now, does the Adult Learning Center open year round? You take a break during the summer? How does that work?
Our teachers are Wilson County school teachers, and they do take a break during the summer, but we are open year round. We have an online curriculum that can help our students through the summer. So we still have testing during the summer. We still have online classes. We have lots of students that are still engaged through the summer. So we hope that if you're ready to get started, even now, you just give us a call.
All right, so it's really adult education is alive and well, and you've done a great thing, I think, over to jail. Is that maybe going to even get bigger?
I know that sounds. I don't know what the right word is, but the jail will get bigger. But I think what has happened with the jail is this new way of testing, the new pathways for the diploma has made it easier to be able to test whenever it's convenient for the jail's schedule. So not that we hope that we have more people in jail, of course, but just the testing schedule has made it a lot easier, and they have a new person, Lieutenant Wilmore, that is just doing a fantastic job there.
Well, I think we could all congratulate everybody that's involved there, you and the sheriff and
Yes,
everybody
sir.
else, that you have this available, and people can even use their time of incarceration for something positive, which hasn't always been the case, I guess.
That is true. We have had phenomenal support from Sheriff Bryan and Major Bennett. They have been instrumental in allowing us in there. We're in the jail 4 days a week. And Carissa has really worked hard getting all of those diplomas in there.
All right, we're ready to close it out here. Sandy Anderson, the director of the Adult Learning Center, and Amy Richardson, a teacher there, have been my guests this morning. And a reminder, the Adult Learning Center graduation is next Thursday, May 15th, 7 p.m. And how many of you're thinking you're going to have at least?
We have 90 right now walking across the line.
Right. Fairview Church, 7 p.m., and that's at 1660 Leeville Pike. I want to thank you both for being with us today. And Amy, it's good to have you. Good
Thank
to know
you
that
so
you're
much.
enjoying teaching and helping people overcome some of the fears even that you had at one
Yes.
time. And, Sandy, always good to see you. Keep up the good work.
Thank you for having us.
All right. That is part one of Coleman and Company. We've got more. Hope you'll keep it right here, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Want to thank our friends at Bates Ford and the Works Vehicle Checkup. They'll make sure your vehicle is ready for any road. $59.95, up to 5 quarts of oil, tax and disposal, tire rotation, and safety check. 1780 Franklin Road. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. It seems like it's gotten heavier coming down 65 through Millersville here in the last few minutes through that stretch of Sumner County. There's still some fog out here in certain areas. Trying to pick up with more volume coming in from Mount Juliet, leaving Wilson County in general here on 40 West, headed through Hermitage into Donaldson as it gets heavier up through Brentwood and Franklin here in the last few minutes on 65 northbound up through Williamson County. Hey, Princess Hot Chicken has new items on the menu. Check them all out this weekend when you order online at princesshotchicken.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Hey, this is Dr. Derek Gregory, and I'm proud to announce to you the opening of our brand new dental practice, Gregory Dental Group, at 1746 West Main Street, just across the road from Sports Village. Come experience modern dentistry at its best. We're always welcoming new patients, and I truly look forward to taking the best care of all your dental needs. Come by or call us today.
That's Gregory Dental Group, 615-444-0322, or online at myLebanonTNDentist.com. Gregory Dental Group, compassion, knowledge, skill.
We'll have partly cloudy skies for today, highs will be in the lower 70s. Increasing clouds for tonight, lows in the lower 50s, and then mostly cloudy for our Saturday, highs remaining in the lower 70s. This weather forecast brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty, professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. With your severe view forecast, I'm Storm Specialist Drew Richards.
Coleman and Company, welcome to part two here on a Friday morning. And Fridays at this time, we feature a C&D team of Exit Rocky Top Realty, 1330 West Main in Lebanon. They're great people offering great service, people you can trust. And believe it or not, we got the whole family here this morning. Well, not exactly, but we've got, first of all, we've got Mike Cox. Mike, good morning to you.
Good morning, Coleman.
Glad to have you here. We're going to get a progress report in a minute. We've got Miss Judy. Judy
Good
Cox.
morning.
Morning to you. And Miss Medina Hemmentoler.
Good morning.
The trio is here. And Mike, you've had some health issues recently, and 5 bypasses, if my memory's right.
Yes, I did.
And you had to take it easy for a while. Could only do pretty much what they allowed, and they wouldn't even let you go home if you didn't promise, is my understanding. But you've come through this, it seems fine.
Yes, I have, Coleman. I mean, I had some really good doctors, and it really turned out well. I mean, it really did.
And this is your first time back out here for a while. good to see you.
I'm glad to be here.
You're still listening to the doctor.
Yeah, I went back yesterday or the day before, and then they started me therapy yesterday, which I did real well at that. So just got to finish that, and he says I'll be good as new. So
all right. Well, Miss Judy, what you got for us this morning?
Just a couple of little things I was going to talk about is getting people pre-qualified because as agents, when somebody comes in, I want to purchase a house or I want to sell my house, especially if you want to purchase, the first thing you want to do is go get them pre-qualified because the worst thing is what realtor wants to spend all day showing houses to somebody, houses that they can't, you don't even know what they can afford. So a lot of agents, they need to always remember, get them pre-qualified first. So that you know their perimeter of what they can afford, so that you show them things that are workable in their minds. And then also we wanted to make sure that if you got your house listed, a lot of times if there's a sign in the yard, there are some buyers out there that will just go up and knock at your door and go, can I look at your house? It's for sale. If you're the seller, do not let those people in. Tell them to call the people that's on the sign and make an appointment. Mm-hmm. You do not want people coming through your house. You don't know if they're qualified, if they can afford it. You don't know if they're, scaping your house out. You don't know. You're letting complete strangers in your house. Mm-hmm. So that's who's got your house listed, tell them to call the real estate agent and set up an appointment. And that way it keeps everybody safer. It also, like on open houses, when you do have a public open house, it's open to the public. So you can't just say, oh, you can't come in, or you qualified, you can't come in. So be aware of that. Most people that do open houses now, the houses are either vacant or they've been staged and the people's not living there, because you have to be careful. Open public house, you got everybody coming in, looking, and you have to have enough people there to make sure you're covering all the bases. If some's upstairs, some's downstairs, what drawers are they opening, that kind of thing, because you're not there with them. So be aware of that. If you do have your house listed and you're having an open house, you need to put away everything that's valuable.
All right, is it Medina's turn?
That's right. Let her go.
Miss Medina.
Well, since once you're pre-qualified and you want to start looking, give us a call and we can help you find one, or you bring your realtor with you. And we have a new listing coming on the market as of Sunday morning, Sunday morning. It's in Stonebridge. It's a single living home. It's 2520 Amberwood Way. And it's right off of Meandrin Drive, which Meandrin is the main road in Stonebridge. But it's a beautiful, well-maintained, meticulously manicured home, and it's ADA accessible, which means it has the wider doors. It has levers on the doors for handicap accessible, and it also has, in your two-car garage, it has a built-in ramp to get into from, if you needed a wheelchair, to get in from the garage into the house. So those are some big highlight things that some people are looking for, and it's even nice to have, even if it's not you don't have a wheelchair, but who knows? You never know when you're going to break your leg and you need a wheelchair, to be in the house. So it is a 3-bedroom and 2.5 bath. There is a extra large bonus room over the living room that could be another 4th bedroom if you needed a 4th bedroom. And it has got a covered back porch. The backyard is private. It's treed in the backyard, so there's nobody behind you, and you don't really see anybody behind you as well. But it's a covered back patio with a water feature, which is a fountain, remote controlled fountain, if you can believe that. That's really nice. But it's all new carpet upstairs and in the bedrooms, and then hardwood floors and tile in the other areas. But give us a call on that one. That one is going to be at 564-9 as of Sunday. And in the middle, that's something different in Stonebridge. In the middle, where Amberwood Way and Serenity Way, they kind of join each other, and it's a big circle. Well, in the middle, there's green space. It's green common space. And that little area there, that cul-de-sac area, they have neighborhood events. And they all do it in that green common space area, which is really neat. You don't you don't have to go to the clubhouse or anything. It's just for that little cul-de-sac area. Yeah. So that's really nice. So it's really a nice house with a 2-car garage and great neighbors, but it's 564-9. It's a little bit over 2,500 square feet. So give us a call on that one, and we have another one coming soon right here on Trousdale Ferry Pike. So we'll be talking about that one a little bit more in a couple of weeks, but that one is going to be listed at $499. So it has 2 acres with it as well. So give us a call. But if you're looking to list or buy, we'd be glad to help you in either way and get you started on your journey of looking to buy another house or to list your house.
And remember that number, 615-443-3130.
That's it. And remember, Coleman,
yes,
don't make a move without us, especially with Realtor of the Year.
Well, Dana, Realtor of the Year, and don't make a move without us. That's what we remember you for. Mm-hmm. Mike Cox, good to see you. Thanks for being with us this morning.
I want to make sure we wish all the mothers a happy Mother's Day for Sunday.
Right. Okay. Very good.
All righty.
See y'all next week.
See you
Have
later.
a good one. Okay. We're about 21 minutes before the hour, and my guests are here for part 2 of Coleman and Company. And the Wilson County Democratic Party is paying for the time for my next 2 guests who are here. And we have Charles Lyndon Smith, who is a 48-year member of the UAW Local 737 and currently serves as the vice president. And I take it that that's you just joining us.
That is me.
Well, good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
And I did meet Jeff Rich just before we went back on the air for part 2, a retired railroad worker and served in various leadership roles within the Brotherhood of Locomotive Engineers and Trainmen Union. So we do say good morning to both of you. Each of you has a very impressive and lengthy career in union work, so we're going to talk about that. And Jeff, we will start with you. Tell us about your career, what labor groups that you have worked with.
Mr. Coleman, I had a 34-year career in the railroad industry starting in 1987. I went to work for the National Eastern Railroad here in Lebanon just after their startup. I worked for that company for 11 years and went to CSX Transportation. Worked on the Nashville division, Chattanooga subdivision. And in the year 2000, I became a qualified locomotive engineer for CSX. At that time, I joined the Brotherhood of Locomotive Engineers and Trainmen, which is the oldest active union in the United States. It's 163 years old this year. We are under the Teamsters Rail Conference, the Teamsters umbrella. We are not an autonomous union associated with other railroad unions under the Teamsters umbrella. About 15 years ago, I became a union officer in local 129 here in Nashville. In the legislative, I was a legislative representative, and then through our election process, I became the state legislative board chairman. I represented 900 active railroad employees and over 2,800 retirees in matters of legislation, benefits, safety concerns, and retirement issues. I retired after a long and lengthy career in 2023. And I've been enjoying my gardening ever since.
Okay. All right. Charles, what about you? Tell us about the UAW, what that is, and how you're involved.
All right. Thank you, Coleman. It's good to see you here again. I've been a member of the UAW since 1977. Now, the UAW, for those that don't know, is the commonly called the United Auto Workers, but it actually stands for the United Automobile, Aerospace, and Agricultural Implement Workers of America. So that's the long name of it. National president of that is, of course, Sean Fain, and Secretary of Treasury is Margaret Mock. And I've been involved, like I said, since 1977. I started there at the Ford Glass plant. It's local 737. And I started there in 77 in production, and got laid off in 79 during the economic downturn around the 80s. Went back there in 1988 in production, and as a production worker, I also got into the apprenticeship program, and I became parameter and instrument repair journeyman. Then I ran the apprenticeship program for a little while, and then from there I went to becoming a vice president of the local union. Then I served as president of the local union. And now I'm back as a vice president again of the local union. I found out that I'm a better vice president than I am president.
All right, good to ask both of you here, and then we'll go to a break. But do you feel that unions are still necessary today?
Absolutely. They bring a higher rate of pay, which is the first thing on everybody's mind, of course, is trying to support their families. But also there's the job protections that come with union membership. There's an expanded benefits that come with union membership. Union workers enjoy on a national average an 11.3% wage over their counterparts that are not represented. As far as benefits, 96% of union members enjoy an expanded range of benefits where only 62% of non-union employees do. This is according to the National Labor Relations Board. There's also the safety in the workplace. Most unions have active members in their locals that is their sole purpose, is looking after safety issues and matters of hygiene in the workplace, and also protection of the employee in matters of where the employee might get in trouble over, say, tardiness or perhaps absenteeism or a problem on the job. They have an advocate on the job to work with them and the company on resolving the issue.
Okay, and Charles, you can add to that, no doubt.
Well, yeah, the unions are necessary because you can't leave it to chance that the management is going to do the right thing or enhance the quality of the workforce. So that's why you need to have a union contract, a collective bargaining agreement that legally binds the company to do the right thing. You know, it would be good if everybody had love and kindness in their hearts, but that's not always the case. It seems like that people prefer sometimes profit over people. So having a union contract gives that opportunity for the company to treat the employees with respect and all those benefits that Jeff just mentioned about. So unions are definitely beneficial today.
Okay, it is time for us to take a break. We are featuring our program being paid for by the Wilson County Democrats this morning, and Charles Lyndon Smith and Jeff Rich are my guests here on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Absolute Kubota. They'll help you rent the right tool for the job. The Kubota Orange Rental Program makes it easy to rent the right equipment. Stop by Absolute Kubota, check out the U35 excavator or the SVL 75 compact track loader, 1506 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Performance over here working this accident on 65 southbound, right near Trinity Lane, aggravating all that traffic that's making its way out of Madison down through this area on 65 southbound at Trinity Lane. Still working the wreck out in Humphreys County this morning on the Interstate 40 westbound at the 140, causing delays now as you head towards Memphis. Give yourself extra time. When it's time to move, call True Friends Moving Company here in Middle Tennessee. Call area code 615-240-2811. That's True Friends Moving Company. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Calling all Cumberland baseball fans. The Cumberland Phoenix baseball team are the champions of the Mid-South Conference and will now head to Kingsport, Tennessee for the opening round of the NAIA National Playoffs, where they'll compete against teams from Indiana, Missouri, Louisiana, and Tennessee for the chance to go to the World Series. Cumberland's first game is Monday, May 12th at 1:10 p.m. versus the Cougars of Columbia College in Missouri. Check the Cumberland website at gocumberlandathletics.com for game times throughout the tournament and listen to 98.3 FM or online at WANTFM.com for all the action. Let's go, Phoenix.
Medina, what did Mama always say?
Mama said, treat others as you would want to be treated.
Mama always said, be honest and fair.
Mama said, listen to what your customers want and try to help make their dreams come true.
Yes, we celebrate Mother's Day. Remember what Mama always said. Don't make a move without us.
Call Judy Cox or Medina Himmentoller at Exit Rocky Top Realty. C&D Team, 443-3130.
Mama said there'll be days like this.
And we continue. Welcome to our final segment here on a Friday morning. Our program brought to you by the Wilson County Democrats today. And again, we have Charles Lyndon Smith and Jeff Rich here. Now, and primarily our subject is unions so far this morning. Now, the next question is, what is the AFL-CIO and what do they do, Charles?
All right, the AFL-CIO, it stands for the American Federation of Laborers and the Congress of Industrial Organizations. It's a national organization. It has about 63 national, international labor unions, about 15 million working people. Here in Tennessee, there's the Tennessee AFL-CIO, and then the Tennessee AFL-CIO has 5 central labor councils. And there's one in East Tennessee, Chattanooga, Memphis, and I'm actually first vice president of the Central Labor Council of Nashville and Middle Tennessee. So again, that's a vice president role, and it's there to it's a conglomeration of all these labor unions to implement policy to improve the qualities of life of working people. I can't say it any more simply than that. We try to promote the policies in legislatures and everything else to improve the quality of life of working people.
All right, Jeff, you want to add to that, or you want me to go ahead?
I'm good to go ahead, I believe.
All right,
at this time.
tell us about how Tennessee supports workers.
Well, unfortunately, I don't believe that they do. We've had a lot of initiatives in the last 2 legislative sessions that have been against workers, one of which is the educational organization. Laws were passed where they cannot deduct their dues from their payroll anymore, direct deposit. They have to do it manually, which has always been an option to a union member, but it makes things more difficult for not only the member of that organization, but also the organization as well, with their funding and their ability to protect their employees. And as far as the national level, even as recently as in the last couple of months, there's been an executive fiat to remove collective bargaining from 2/3 of the federal employees. And contract, a lot of people have a misunderstanding of a union contract as opposed to a business contract. In the grand scheme of things, they're a lot alike. And once a contract's violated, then the result is either going to a union meeting with the body at large, or a lawsuit's involved. So as of late, the government here in the state and on the federal level has not supported workers.
All right, both of you may want to comment on this, but do Republican policies generally support workers?
Well, this is going to be a strange answer, but yes. And I'm going to say yes only because Tennessee supports workers by creating jobs and creating a very business-friendly environment that brings jobs here. However, they don't support workers that much. They seem to legislate policies that restrict the workers from for unions to exist. As he just mentioned, some of the things that they did that they mentioned as far as reducing the right for members to deduct their dues from that's an impediment. And it seems like, and this is a right-to-work state. Now, right-to-work simply means that it restricts the workers from having having to pay dues. In other words, they have it so that you have a right to work, but you have a right not to pay dues. And if you don't pay dues, you still have to. You still can get represented by the union. So it's kind of shrewd how they have done this. They know that if the unions can't have dues, then they don't have the resources that they need for lawyers and for arbitrators, and so they don't have the resources to fight them. So most of the time, companies have deeper pockets, and so they need these attorneys and these fees to help promote the values of unions.
All right, Jeff, you want to add that? Do Republican policies generally support workers?
I don't believe they do, and I've spent time in both Washington, D.C. and at the state capitol doing some lobbying on behalf of our union. And the pushback that I've received has been mainly from the Republican Party. Mm-hmm. Now, there have been exceptions, of course, and there's always going to be exceptions to the rule. But as of late, the the attempted removal of the National Labor Relations Board member has been an example.
Yes.
And of course, as I stated before, the executive attempted executive fiat on trying to remove collective bargaining from federal employees is also the other. So the examples are there publicly, and then the things that Charles and I have seen in the past and in our work, so I can safely say no.
Okay.
All right. What laws or regulations have you seen to help or hurt workers today? And you may have answered part of that, but we might talk more. Laws or regulations to help or hurt workers today?
Well, one of the things, as you just mentioned, nationally, I think the national administration is trying to dismantle or strip away the National Labor Relations Board. Now, the National Labor Relations Board is the national board that pretty much sets policies for working people, and it also when there are laws and rules that companies may violate, then it can go all the way to the National Labor Relations Board, and the companies will either be fined or there'll be penalties based on their violations. But when you strip this national board of labor-friendly members, and you put in there, you sort of stack this board with people that are more business-friendly and anti-union. And so this is something that's done. I will say this too. I actually got fired from my job. I work as an industrial electrician. I got fired from my job as president of the union, and I was out for 13 months. It went all the way to arbitration. And the way the arbitrator rules is the company could take strikes two, the union strikes two of a pool of five, and the one left in the middle is the one that seemingly would be favorable to both. This particular arbitrator did just that. He ruled that I could get my job back, but he also ruled that I was negligent enough not to get the back pay. But if we did not have a union, the company, because this is a right-to-work state, they would have fired me with no recall. So unions are they're sort of like insurance. You don't need it until you need it. Now, he definitely ruled that I was unjustly terminated. And that happens a lot of times. Companies will sometimes use they'll do what they want to do, regardless of whether it's the right thing or not. But that's why we need to have unions to be the advocate for the people that cannot take care of themselves.
All right. When someone says trickle-down economics, what does that mean for the workforce?
Go ahead.
Well, I'm going to come clean here. Right out of high school, the first time I voted in a presidential election was for Ronald Reagan in 1980. And that was the buzzword, was trickle-down economics. Now, here we are some 45 years later. I'm still waiting on my end of it. So it's without what Mr. Linden and I do, our membership would not receive the benefits of growth and economic growth in the country. So I'm very skeptical and somewhat bitter when people tout trickle-down economics as a way for all boats to rise, because I just absolutely don't believe in it.
Generally, that means the trickle-down economics for me means that it's the benefits of a very robust economy. There's more beneficial for those stockholders and the wealthy elite, but for the working poor, as this robust economy starts to trickle down, they have to work 2 and 3 jobs just to have the necessities of life. Those that are even now, we look in our federal government right now. It seems like the national administration is catering to billionaires, while the rest of us are suffering. It doesn't matter if the economy goes if they can't afford it, because they don't have to provide those day-to-day things that we as working class people have to have: health care, child care, housing, food, transportation, all these things. So that trickle-down economics, it's just that, a trickle, as opposed to that flood that the upper elite seem to have the benefit of.
All right, time is escaping us. I understand the Wilson County Democratic Party is growing, and there is now a labor committee. Tell us the purpose of this committee and when they meet.
Well, so far we're going to try to meet at least once a month. That's the plan. We are in the process of building a foundation in the organization. What we are wanting to do is Mr. Coleman has built a big tent, so to speak, not only organized labor, but all workers in Wilson County, and try to give them a voice and try to give them an avenue to discuss or complain to somebody about their working condition and the problems that they face on a daily basis, their quality of life, workplace safety, and all the things that go along with that. I'm encouraged by our growth in membership as of late, and we've had several people. Charles and I've had several people in the meetings, and everybody's very enthusiastic about it and really ready to get started.
Yes. Well, we've got just a minute here, and any final thoughts are going to have to be quick.
Yes, I'll make this very quick. We have a number of union members that have voted against their best interest. Republicans have done a good job of convincing workers that they have their best interests. But I want to this is the Bible Belt, and so I believe that that people should vote for their best interests. But there's something called love, and love looks at the needs of others rather than the needs of themselves. And if corporate leaders, business leaders, people in general had a more agape love-like attitude, then they would be more willing to look after the needs of others, as opposed to serving the God of that they have for the love of money is the root of all evil. And I just want to say that I know there's a lot of social issues, but love conquers all. I want to say that. And the Democratic Party, I like to say that we are more of a party that has the heart of the people and want to provide for a higher quality of life of people. And we're your neighbors, and we're not that far left. We're right, and we're right here.
Well, thank you both for being with us this morning. Right. Charles Lyndon Smith and Jeff Rich, we are out of time. Program presented by Wilson County Democrats. And that's going to do it for Friday. Have a nice weekend till Monday. I wish you a fantastic day.